Let the battle royale of a gluten-free flatbread continue. So today I continue my search for the perfect gluten-free flatbread. So today's challengers, that's right, this is a tag team match against gluten. It's a lentil and a buckwheat flatbread. What are my criterias for a good flatbread? Well, I'm going to base it off of what you normally see in a normal flatbread. Does it fold and go back to shape without cracking or breaking? Can you make it into a pizza dough or a flatbread recipe that holds up well in the oven or on the barbecue? Those are pretty much my essentials I'm looking for in a good flatbread. You'll see part one of my first gluten-free flatbread recipe. I'll put the link right up here. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a red lentil flatbread. It's as easy as possible. I'm going to take 1 cup of red lentils, pour it into a bowl. Next, I'm going to pour in 2 cups of water to let it soak for 3 to 6 hours. At the minimum, 3 hours. A little YouTube magic, 6 hours, we're back, ready to go. I'm going to grab myself a blender and pour that lentil and water into the blender and blend on medium for about 30 to 45 seconds. So I'll blend it until everything's smooth, maybe straight down the sides to make sure nothing's sticking. Pour it into a jar. You can either store in the fridge and use a bit later, or make your flatbreads now. I'm going to opt to make my flatbreads now. So I'll grab a nonstick pan and put it over medium heat. Once the pan is heated up, I'm going to drizzle with a little bit extra virgin olive oil and then carefully pour in my red lentil flatbread batter. Let the batter roll to the edges of the pan and get nicely covered. I'm going to cook on the first side for about 2 minutes. A good indicator of knowing when to flip this flatbread is very easy. It's just like cooking pancakes. If you ever notice the bubbles are coming up and pop and then nothing fills in, it means that the flatbread is ready to be flipped. So flip it over and let it cook for an additional minute. I'm going to slide this flatbread out into a clean tea towel to keep it warm while I make the rest of the flatbreads. This recipe will make between 4 and 5 noticeably large flatbreads. So just like in the part 1 video, I'm going to do the exact same way of eating these flatbreads. I'm just going to go ahead and make a simple gyro or gyro. I'm not sure how it's said. Let me know in the comments. Even though I can't actually hear you say it, you'll let me know telepathically. The wrap holds together really well. It rolls nicely. It's nice and tender. It's got a nice little bit of chew. It's actually pretty good. Like, you're never really gonna find anything else that really compares to a flour tortilla that you can roll up the sides and close it up and it's nice and concealed. But this gets pretty close. Like, it rolls nicely, doesn't crack and break. So that was the red lentil flatbread. Next up, I'm gonna make a buckwheat flatbread. Buckwheat flatbread is very similar to the red lentil. I'm gonna start with 2 cups of buckwheat and 4 cups of water. Additionally, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Just like the lentils, I'm gonna let the buckwheat soak for 3 to 6 hours. Now that they've been soaking for 6 hours, I'm gonna strain the water from the buckwheat. I'm gonna put the strained buckwheat into the blender, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 whole eggs, and 1.5 cups of filtered water. I'm gonna blend on high for 30 to 45 seconds. Make sure it's straight down the edges and make sure all that buckwheat gets incorporated into the batter. So cooking for the buckwheat flatbread is exactly the same as the red lentils. I'm gonna take a pan over medium heat and drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna pour my buckwheat batter into the pan and let everything run off the sides and to the edges. So you're gonna make a wrap or a flatbread, then make your flatbread a little bit thicker. And same goes for this flatbread. Once those bubbles start to pop and they don't get replaced, you see little craters, and your flatbread is ready to flip. So flip it over and let it cook for an additional 1.5 to 2 minutes. Next up, the buckwheat wrap. One thing I did notice with the buckwheat wrap, it is a bit more porous than that red lentil wrap. The second thing I really noticed, it's soft. It's almost soft like a Wonder Bread kind of soft. So let's see what the texture is like. It's super soft. It's so good. It's just like a nice soft white bread. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still kind of crumbly because it's not gluten-free or it's not gluten, but it's pretty good. Like, mix everything together in there. It rolls pretty well. Structurally, it's not as strong as the red lentil wrap, but texture-wise, it's far superior. There you have it. This flatbread rolls really well and for the most part holds its structure really well compared to that part 1 video. Or I guess the biggest step back is, it doesn't look like it'll be able to hold up very well on a hot grill making a pizza or bruschetta flatbread. So my search continues for the ultimate gluten-free flatbread. Stay tuned for part 3. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.